begin. And the recognition is that there are those of us in this room, and there are also those that join us via video. And I just ask you to hold all of our community, whether they are in this room or outside of this room, in this space with us. And so I invite you to close your eyes with me. And let's take some breaths together, in through our nose and out. In through our nose and out. And just feel in this moment, feel the chair as it supports the weight of your body. Feel the floor as it supports your feet. Notice that your heart is beating on its own. In this quiet moment, we are allowing the truth of who we are to rise up from within us. The truth of our oneness with our Creator, with our Source, with all of life. We are here now to be truly helpful to ourselves. When we are truly helpful to ourselves, when our intention is for the highest good, as it is right now, we know that we are serving the highest good and being truly helpful to all people. In this moment, we embrace perfection. We embrace that all of life has orchestrated to bring us right here, right now. This is the perfect time, the perfect place to open up. One more breath together. And as you are ready, you can open your eyes. We've created a sacred space that we are carrying forward with us. And I have a question. As today, the talk is about greatness unfolding, and all month it's been about unfolding. So the recognition of life as a process, of growth as a process, as our journey to God as a process, our journey to the truth of ourselves as a process. And so today we're focusing on that journey and the process of becoming great. And the recognition that greatness is a blueprint that lives within us. And so I'm going to ask you a question. And that question is, I want you to think about and answer in your mind, who is the greatest person that you know or have known? So this is, you would know this person personally. So couldn't be Martin Luther King Jr. unless you happen to know him personally in your lifetime. And if so, can we talk after? Because But so just bring to your mind, quietly, the greatest person you know. Okay, got it? I know, it's hard. Some of you are going, no. So let's sit for another minute. Greatest person you know. Greatest person you've known. Got it? Okay. Okay. So now let me tell you what happened to me when I did this. My first answer was Bedford. So I just wanted to tell you that you're great, no matter what happens with any client.
I fooled you.
You're the person, like literally my first answer was Bedford. Bedford is the greatest person I've ever known. And so that was the first answer. And then there was the subsequent answer. And guess what the subsequent answer was? Me. And then guess what happened right underneath that? I said, I'm not telling anybody that. I am not telling anybody that what came to my mind is that I'm the greatest person that I know. That's what I'm thinking, right? So in this moment, what I'm doing as I'm thinking about this question and as I realize, and I'm thinking I'm the greatest person I know, I'm driving and I'm going because I have a cold, so that you know, but I'm not going to point it out because that would be pointing out mistakes and I'm not doing that anymore. But there is a new baby in our family. Keith's brother had a new baby this week and I really want to hold the baby. Really want to hold the baby. I just want to say that. And I can't because I have this cold, right? So as I'm having this thought, I'm thinking about who's the greatest person I know, and the thought comes Bedford, and then it comes me. And I'm driving. What I'm doing is I'm driving to my brother-in-law's house so that I can drop off a present on the porch because I don't want another day to go by without this baby being acknowledged and honored in some way by our family, right? And so I'm thinking this, and I'm driving, and I go put it on the porch, and then I want to call somebody. And so I say to my phone, because I have an Android, so I say, hey Google, and Google doesn't say anything. And so I said, hey Google, a second time, and it didn't say anything. I said, hey Google, and this is what Google said. Well, hi there, what can I do for the sweetest person I know? And I about cried and dropped the phone. I was like, did that just happen? Did that just happen? Has that ever happened to any of you? I just want to know. Because I went home, the first thing I said to my family when I walked in the door is, guess what Google just said to me? And so, and Google knows people, I'm just saying. And I'm the sweetest person Google knows. I mean, Gandhi's on Google. So I was very excited. So I had the awareness, and I called the person, and the person who I had the misfortune of talking to me right after Google said I was the sweetest person that they knew. I was like, oh my God, guess what Google just said to me when she answered the phone? And so I'm talking to her about this question about, who's the greatest person you know? And what I recognize is that the greatest person that I know is me. I am not the greatest person you know. The greatest person you know is you. Can you feel the difference in that? That's how we know it's not coming from the ego. I don't think I'm the greatest person you know. I absolutely know I'm not the greatest person you know. But I do know that I am the greatest person that I know. I am the hero of my story. And I had this moment where I realized I'm just so glad. I'm so glad that that's true. That I actually believe that I'm the greatest person that I know. And that doesn't mean that I'm perfect. I am not, right? Tell him. I am not. This is my husband. He will tell you, I am not perfect. I am far, far, far from perfect. It isn't about perfection. That isn't what I'm talking about. But greatness, yeah, I got that. Greatness, Paige, yeah, you got that, right? So who are we not to be great? Who are we not to show our greatness? And that's what my wonderful teacher, Marianne Williamson, said. And what I recognize is, that's the deal. We all want to star. We all want to be the star of our own lives. That's what we're here to do. We're here to be the hero of our own journey. And it is right and purposeful that you would know that you are the greatest person that you know. That's good. It's not the ego. And so I hope that somewhere when I ask that question, that at least some part of you said you. Even if right after that you're like, oh no, don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody that you think you're the greatest person you know. So as I was looking at, I already did that. So as I was looking at this and thinking about and steeping myself in this idea of greatness, I was looking at all these different TED Talks, and I was like looking up quotes, and I was reading portions of books. And one of the things that I was reminded of is Nietzsche. So first of all, Nietzsche said that one must have chaos within them to be great. So I don't know about you guys. So check. I got that. So you have to have chaos within you. And he talks about this analogy, this metaphor of the bow, right? So greatness is about the greatest tension. Imagine the bow, right? The greatest tension within someone between opposites that then would go to propel them forward, right? Right? Okay, so then Jung said it's about the integration of our unconscious and our conscious, right? So greatness is about the unity of opposites, right? It's about the recognition that I am both human ego and spirit. And somewhere in the synthesis of those two things is my greatness, right? And that's what life is for. Life is for getting the balance of the opposites here. So this week I did the, was it MBTI? Is that what it's called? The Yoon thing?
Myers-Briggs.
Okay, and it's surprising, but I've not actually done that. I've done so many personality things, but I've never done that one. And I did it, and I'm an INFP for all of you that are keeping score of my personality. Are you an INFP? Oh, we could get together, because I need to know what it means. Because I just want to say, I haven't told my husband this yet, but I paid $50 for that test, and it did not give me a lot of information. I know, but it was for research. I had to do it. But I was expecting this large printout at the end that was going to tell me all about, my fears, and so I could get to know my personality, so I could overcome them. Right? I was ready. I was ready to see like the mirror of my flaws, so I could just, transcend them. Because that's what I need to do, right? Just transcend. Let's do that. So I did the Myers-Briggs thingy, and INFP, and then I told one of my friends, and she's like, "What? You are not an F?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am. I'm a puzzle wrapped up in a conundrum." Because apparently F is about feeling, and I'm not an emotional person. And it said that was actually a misperception, that many people that are Fs, the misperception is that you're emotional, and you're not. Anyway, so I digress. What was I talking about? Oh, how do I integrate opposites? So the recognition is that anything that I can do to dig in and learn about my personality, right, the ego part of me, is going to help me to synthesize that that spirit, perfect, I am born of source, one with source part of me, and to synthesize those and find that sweet spot, find that balance of greatness, right? Okay, so, and I love this. I found this, and I cannot remember his name, and I really should quote him, so maybe I'll put it on Facebook or something, because I want to make sure I do. But there was this great a TED Talk, and he was talking about what he believed and what he saw as greatness. And what he said was, it's realism plus courage plus vision plus ethics and principles. Now, imagine this. Imagine the tension between the realist part of you and the visionary part of you. Like, these parts exist within us, and somewhere between the visionary and the realist, somewhere in between is your greatness. Right? Because all of it, courage and ethics and principles, courage and vision, like we imagine it's all about relationship. It's all about finding the balance, the right balance of these things in order to bring about your greatness. And so the recognition is that you're already great. And everybody does this analogy, but they do it because it works. So the acorn, right? The acorn has the blueprint of the oak tree. You have the blueprint of your greatness already in you. You will never be, or an acorn will never be an orange tree. It won't happen. An acorn is going to be an oak tree. That's the blueprint. It's already in there. The perfect version of the acorn is the oak tree. The perfect version of us is within us. And our life is a process of unfolding where we just keep getting closer. And it's not about a destination, because we don't get there. And thank goodness, because then might as well call it a day, right? Like, we're always going to be growing into it. We're always going to be becoming. And we talked about this last Wednesday, but the recognition is, if you look at it in terms of, so I'm the acorn, and here's the oak tree the oak tree's here, and I'm the acorn, and I'm here, right? And the blueprint of the oak tree is within me. So if this is a map. But if I am here, I walk forward toward the oak tree, right? But if I'm over here, can I still get to the oak tree? Right? I just turn. I can still get there. And that's the misconception. We believe that at some point we made some wrong turn and we can't get to our greatness. And that's wrong, because the oak tree is stationary. Our greatness is stationary. It's not going anywhere. It's where it always is. You, no matter where you are, can get there from here. The recognition is that we can get there from here, no matter our turns, right? Okay, so acorn, oak tree. So greatness is the balance. Greatness is the balance between all things, between work and rest, between being and doing, between thinking and feeling. That's my area of growth. Between thinking and feeling, between what did I say? Work and play. What are some other opposites? between active and inactive, introvert and extrovert. You know what I mean? Somewhere in between those things, the synthesis between them is our greatness. And one of the things that keeps us from our greatness is that we are either or thinkers. We believe that something has to be either or, when in truth, greatness is both and. Both and is what gets us to the center, to our greatness, not either or. The either or is purposeful, you know? That's the tension, that's the bow. So in the moment where we are the most tense, where we are the most anxious, where we feel the worst, that's where our bow is completely pulled back. And the momentum of that tension can rocket us, propel us forward to the next part of our growth. If we will but recognize that the tension means it's working. That's, I know. See that? I'm the sweetest person Google knows. That's a lights. And that's what I said to Aaron about the ginger, because it burned. I was like, that's how I know it's working. You know what I mean? You know it's working because you experience the tension. You know your growth is working because you have that. You're ready. It's the next part. It's the part that's going to shoot you to the next phase of your growth and evolution. And guess what? Once you're there, the bow's going to go back again. And that's the journey. The recognition is that it's perfect just the way it is. And here's the thing about greatness. There's always an excuse for why we can't be great. There's lots of them. And I just heard the story of the man who wrote The Diving Bell and the Butterfly. I think that's the name of the book. Do you know about this man? Okay. I really hope I'm not making this up. But I'm not making it up. I just don't know if that's the name of the book. But I believe it. The Diving Bell and the Butterfly, I believe is what the name of the book is. This man is paralyzed except for his left eye. And he wrote the best-selling book by blinking one eye. He wrote the best-selling book. I'm just saying. Like, we have no excuses if that guy writes a best-selling book, right? And so that's the thing. There is people who don't have enough money. I don't have enough money to be great or to change the world or to do something great. Well, Mother Teresa, right? I'm in prison. Nelson Mandela. Like, there is literally an example for every single excuse you have to not be great. I've passed my prime. Edith Eger, 90 years old, wrote a best-selling book and is working with victims of trauma. She's a survivor of Auschwitz. I'm just saying, whatever excuse we have, not viable. There's an example of somebody that did not see it as an obstacle, that used it as the tension that propelled them to the next space. They saw a need, and they fulfilled it. And that's our mandate. Just like Diane was saying so beautifully before. And Bedford, you all said it, the totality that it is us, the circumstances, the events in our lives, the emotions, where we were born, all of the things that make us who we are so unique. There is never another configuration just like you, even if you're a twin. Because you think of every moment of every day. There has never been another you. There never will be another you. You have something to bring to this planet, and it is you. It is you that you are here to bring to this planet. And we have a mandate to do so. We have a mandate to sing. Paige, you must sing. No more not singing. Why aren't you singing right now? You hear what I'm saying? We must sing. Paige, you have to sing. We have to do it. We have to be great. We have to do it. That's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to be. And the tension is our friend. The tension means we're about to launch. The tension means hold on to your hat. It's about to go roll. You know? Okay. That was good. I didn't have to do the video. I thought I might because of my voice. Okay, let's pray together. in this moment, I open up to my greatness. I recognize that there is a purpose and a plan loaded and encoded within me. And I am committed to my greatness. I am committed to bringing that forth. I recognize that I am needed. I know that I am needed because I am here. And I make a commitment, a choice, to give the greatness of myself to the world. I am a child of God, born of greatness. I am a unique expression of the divine, and I am ready to show myself to the world. I am willing to be of service. I am willing, whatever it is, I am willing to step outside of my comfort zone, to step through resistance, to embrace the tension, and to rocket forth on my growth. I know that as I leave here throughout the week, I will be pointed toward instances where I can uncover, reveal, show up with and as my greatness. And I will do it with a smile on my face, with joy in my heart, knowing that I am on purpose. Let's take another breath together. And as you are ready, you can open your eyes, and we will keep our prayerful and sacred space open as we listen to our music team.